Need I say that this giant size X-Men won 9.8 for 67,900, crushed the record without me looking at GPA? Okay, let's not even waste an effort there. That thing smash record. Incredible. Congratulations to the consignee. You have done well. You have done very well.
Okay, so you saw that clip. That market report was done April 4th. Okay, so smashing record. And let me slide in the latest GPA data. Okay, and as you can see right there on April 15th, so roughly 11 days after that live chat, a copy was sold for 60,000. Okay, I believe that was an auction on Comic Connect. If I'm wrong, correct me, but if memory serves me correctly, that's where it was. Now, how can one explain the sharp and quick drop of that book from almost 68,000 to 60 and then to 47,000, as we see right here in the auction just a few days ago? How does one explain this steep drop? Here is my take on it, and there's no way for me to know for sure if what I say is in fact the reason. Okay, so keep this in mind. I'm only giving you a potential reason, a potential explanation on why the sharp drop. As I mentioned so many times in the past 8 years on my channel, this hobby is like a big pyramid. The bigger book is way up top, and the pyramid is about how many people participate for that or compete for that book. Okay, as you go up the food chain, there's gonna be less and less and less people that is in the tier that can afford that book. Okay, sure, when you're talking about the bottom tier, books that are $10 or less, everybody in this hobby can afford that, right? The bottom of the pyramid. But then as you go up, the four figures, the five figures, the six figures, it start to go down rapidly to a point where you literally has a handful of people that can afford that book. Okay, and I have mentioned this a few times. I have a saying: the law of less numbers. Let me repeat that: the law of less numbers. What that means is that, let me give an example. For example's sake, not that I know this is exactly what happened. Let's say that that March auction with that giant size X-Men one that finished almost 68,000. Let's say there are three person bidding for that book. Okay, one person is willing to pay no more than $45,000. That's his limit. The other two people may be willing to pay 60 or more. So as the bidding is going on, by the time it reached the mid 40s, one person said, enough, I'm done. The two remaining fought it out until it topped out at 69,000, 68,000. Now, 2 weeks later, let's say there is no new player enter into that book. There is no new buyer or bidder that say, hey, I want a copy myself. I want to throw my head in the ring. I want to compete for the next copy. Let's say there's no such person. So now it comes down to the remaining two people that fought for that previous book. So those two fought it out, and this time they fought to only to 60 because there's no other person that is going to go higher. That's why it topped out at 60. And so Move on to the current book, the last one, the one last week. What if the only other person that was willing to pay more than 40 something is gone and got his copy and is satisfied? Well, guess what? Now you run out of people that are willing to pay more than 40 something. That's why the result is 40 something for that particular book, for that particular grades. You see what I trying to show you here? So that's why the other grade didn't have a sharp drop like the 9.8. Okay? The comic hobby is very specific to each grade. Okay? Each grade have a specific segment of potential bidder. How they perform sometimes has very little impact on the rest of the lower grade because the lower grades are compete by a complete different tier of collectors. Okay, so the law of one less is very important and can be reversed if more players enter the field. In the example I just listed, what if a complete new bidder show up after the first auction and say, "Wow, I can't believe that book went for 67,900. I want a copy for myself. I can afford." And he start to bid just as high. Can that book, can the second book and the third book be higher? Absolutely. So the law of less number is highly dependent on new participant. It need new deep pocket participant to enter into the fray to maintain the high price. If you don't replace the one person that got his copy and say, "I'm done, I'm satisfied," then you can have the sharp drop or a drop. Another simple explanation is that it went up too much too fast. Hopefully, what I just said in the last 8-9 minutes explain things. I hope so. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.